Hello students, in this video we are discussing Cbse class 9 NCERT science textbook chapter 8 motion part 13. So we've discussed about the two types of graphs and how we represent them graphically and how to find out the values of speed, acceleration and distance and all in the previous videos. Or we also did one numerical in the previous video. So those who have missed it, or if you have still doubts in these concepts, please get back to it so that you will be able to understand it better. So now with a quick recap with the points, we'll get into the next question. So what is speed? How do you get the speed? By calculating the slope of a dt graph. For acceleration, by calculating the slope of a vt graph. And distance, by calculating the area under the vt graph. And slope is 0 if the graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis, and we know that slope is equal to vertical change by horizontal change, which is nothing but rise by run. And whenever it goes in the negative, we know that then the value of that area has to be subtracted to find the displacement of the object. Okay, so hope you're able to relate it with what we learned. So now we'll get into the question. So look into the question here. What does the question say? In the question they have given us a graph. Okay. So for this graph, you can see that they are asking us to find the distance, the displacement and the acceleration. So all the concepts are being covered in this. So that the previous question we were able to do only the distance and the displacement. For this we are doing all the three, that is distance, displacement and the acceleration. So how will you calculate the distance and displacement? By calculating the area. And what about the acceleration? By calculating the slope. So we will do it one by one. So first we will go with the area. So what all do you have? What are the areas you have? You have triangle ABC. So ABC, you have one triangle, and then you have rectangle BCDED. BCED, you have a rectangle, and then you have another triangle DEF, and then FGH. Okay, so FGH, all these you have. So let's calculate the distances here. So like the length and the breadth and the height. Okay, so AC is what? 2 minus 0, so it is 2. Your BC will be 10. C is what? C and E. C you have 2 and E you have 6. So 6 minus 2 will be 4, and the height is 10 again. And here you have DEF, the height is 10, and this is 8 minus 6. So 8 minus 6 is 2, and this one you have it as 10, and this it is 12 minus 8. So 12 and 8. So you have 4, and the height from a point I, when you calculate, you are getting it to be again 10. Okay, so thus we can find out the areas, right? So area of triangle ACB will be what? Half into base into height. So half into 2 into 10, which will be 10. And then area of triangle of rectangle. Okay, rectangle BCED, it will be length into breadth. So 4 into 10, which will be 40. And then area of triangle DEF, which will be again half into 2 into 10, which will be 10. Okay, so all these are in meter. Area will give us the distance. And then the next area is what? Area of triangle FGH, which is half into 4 into 10. So 2 2s are 4, it is 20. Okay, so this 20 only you will be subtracting. Okay, this 20 you will be subtracting, and you will be able to find out. Okay, so now let us find out the distance. So what will be your distance? Your distance will be all the distances added together. So it will be 10 plus 40 plus 10 plus 20. So 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, it will be 80 meter. Okay. Now let us find out the displacement. So for the displacement, this is alone in the negative. Okay. So only this you will have to subtract. So what will it be? 10 plus 40 plus 10 minus 20. So here 110 and then 20. So you are left with 40 meter. So now we have calculated the distance to be 80 meter. So the distance is what? 80 meter, and the displacement is what? 40 meter. Okay. Next we have to find out the acceleration for all these three given time periods. So look at the given time period. So 0 to 2, 0 to 2 it is nothing but OB. OB is for 0 to 2, and then for 2 to 6. For 2 to 6, what is the slope? It is this. Okay. So for this I can say, okay, I can call it to be OB is this. So AB it is. So it is 0. 0 to 2 seconds. Okay. And then this is from 2 to 6. Okay. And then you have the next one is from 2 to 6 seconds. So 2 to 6, and then from 6 to 8. 6 to 8. Okay. 6 to 8 is again, you have some value here. Okay. So what is this value and all, we'll check up. Okay. So this is from D to F. So it is from 6 to 8. Okay. So we'll write down the rise and run individually. What is this rise here? What is this value here? 10, and this is 2. Okay. So your rise is this value. Okay. Rise is what? BC. And your run is AC. Here what do you have? You only have run, you don't have rise. Okay. So automatically we can say that this value is going to be 0. Okay. So then what about this? It is a negative slope. This is a positive slope and this is a negative slope. For negative slope, what is the rise here? So here you have C, D, and then you have E, D, E, F. So it is D, E, and run is what? E, F. Okay. So the first one, your slope, okay, acceleration is nothing but the slope of VT graph. So how will you calculate the slope of a VT graph here? Rise by run, or vertical change by horizontal change. However you've learnt, you can try to understand. So it is BC by AC. So what is it? BC here 10 and 0. So it is 10 minus 0 by 2 minus 0, which will be 10 by 2, which will be 5 meter per second square. Okay. Next one. For B, it is 2 to 6 seconds. So for 2 to 6 seconds, what can you talk about the acceleration, which is the slope, which is nothing but 0. So acceleration is 0 meter per second square. Okay. Next we'll do the C option. What is C option? For 6 to 8 seconds. Okay. 6 to 8 seconds, you have the graph like this. Okay. So this is from 6 to 8. So D, E, F, this is 0, this is 10. Okay. So acceleration is got from the slope. So here it is going to be the negative slope. So it is going to be minus rise by run. So it will be minus, rise is what? ED by EF. So it is going to be minus, what is ED? 10 minus 0 by EF is what? 8 minus 6. So it will be minus 10 by 2. So it will be 5 minus 5 meter per second square. Since the question is asked as acceleration, so you should write it as A is equal to minus 5 meter per second square. Only if you are going to represent in terms of retardation, you are going to mention it as plus 5 meter per second square. Okay. So you should be careful with this while you are mentioning acceleration and retardation. Okay. Now just a quick recap for your distance. You are adding up all the areas. Okay. So it will be it was 80 meter you had. Okay. And for displacement you had subtracted, that is if you see here you will know. So what did we do? 10 plus 40 plus then minus 20, so we got 40 meter you got. Okay. And then acceleration for the ASM was rise by run, so which was 5 meter per second square. For B it is 0 because the graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Straight line parallel to the time axis. Okay. And then for the CSM we got it as negative slope minus 5 meter per second square. Is it clear, children? Yes. So here you can see this. Find the distance, the same thing in steps I have given here. So if you want you can go through this also slowly. Okay, you can pause the video and go through the steps one by one. You can make a note of it also. Okay, this is for the distance and the displacement. First is here, and here you have the acceleration under various time periods which we are asked to calculate. Okay. Hope you understood this. Please go through the video once again if you have any doubts. Okay. See you again other video, children. Thank you, children.